Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Grey Man Operations. So it's 2025. Firstly, we just want to wish everyone a blessed and a safe 2025. We thought we would make this video and let you guys know about our plans for 2025.
Yes, one video and she takes over. So what we want to do in this video is outline our roadmap for 2025 in terms of what kind of reviews we're going to be doing, what kind of videos we're going to be creating, and what kind of gear we're going to be giving away. So if you are a patron, and it's a great way to start the year, in this video, to one of my patrons, we're going to be giving away a Canik Mete SF Combat Edition. Now the difference between that and what you see here is the Combat Edition has a fiber optic front sight, it has a threaded barrel, and it has an upgraded Canik performance trigger.
And
now,
added to that.
Oh, as well, gunlicense.co.za will be doing your full licensing from start to finish. So basically, whoever wins this, you are guaranteed that sucker is going to be with you at some point. Now, before we talk to you about Patreon, I want to tell you how to join. If you want to become a patron, it's the first link in the video description below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, it's the first comment. You can become a free patron, but that does not make you eligible for the giveaways. Patreon is $5. It's like, if you're in South Africa, it's like 87 Rand or something like that. And we give away gear to the value of at least 1 year's worth of patronship every single month, sometimes every single week. In January,
2 patrons on a weekly basis will get 1,000 Rand each. Now, the idea behind this is kind of like pay it forward. Now, we know January is not the greatest of months after all the festive spending and all of that. And we kind of want to give back to the community. So the idea is, if you don't need the 1,000 Rand, bless someone else with it, give it to someone who is in need. However, if you do need it, then it's yours to spend freely.
So that's for January, but here's the exciting news. So we know the gun giveaways are super exciting, and we've been working with Canik. I actually spoke to the guys from Canik yesterday. We are going to be giving away a firearm once every 3 months for 2025. Now, we do want to make it in 2026 like a shorter period, like maybe once every 2 months or once every month. That is basically because patrons grown to a point where we can do that. We're going to buy these guns, right? It's not free, so it is patron specific. But if no patrons leave and no patrons join, which we hope is not the case, we will be able to do that every 3 months for 2025. And the deal with those giveaways, guys, is the amount of months that you have been a patron equal the amount of entries you get. All the big giveaways, the amount of months you've been a patron equal the amount of entries. Now, Michelle has to go and sit after this and literally count. Some guys have been patrons since 2022, so they're going to get all those entries. When you see that long list, that's
my job, and it takes like 3 or 4 hours. I'm not lying, and I want you to know that like your names are safe in my hands, because we work out how many months you've been a patron, and then you get an entry for each month. So like say it's 15, we have an Excel spreadsheet and I count and make sure that it's 15. I'm so scared. I recount because I'm so afraid maybe I put in 14 and someone misses an opportunity to win. So I'm very like, it must
because
be right.
I don't have time for that shit, guys. I don't have time to do that. But so I want to talk to you guys also about Patreon, right? The reason Patreon exists is not for the giveaways. I initially started Patreon because this channel was becoming too expensive to run. So, full disclosure, Michelle and I are not rich. We're rich in blessings, but we're not rich in monetary. Like, we can't, like we live in a 2-bedroom apartment, very normal, very standard. We drive I'm fortunate to have 2 vehicles, but very standard vehicles. We live a normal life. I work a normal 9 to 5. She owns her own business. But we're not like, we can't like go on a holiday to Saint-Tropez whenever we want. We can't just buy things willy-nilly. So it got to a point with YouTube where it was costing so much in terms of monetary and time. Like when I started Patreon, we hadn't had a weekend off for about 4 years, literally filming a video every single weekend for 4 years, and had not seen a single cent out of it. I got cool gear, but it was beginning to take an effect on our lives and my financial situation with the cost of all this gear. And then one day, Michelle just said, give Patreon a try. And I was like, literally, this is not going to work. No one's going to pay to see my content.
I remember when you doubted it completely.
I was like, no chance. This is a joke now. And then we got our first Patreon and the second. And then I thought to myself, as long as
I think the first one was Tired and
Yes,
Hot.
yes,
Like we
Tired and Hot.
remember, we were like shocked.
we got the first Patreon second, and I remember once I reached a point where I was covering my expenses of creating this channel, I realized I got to start giving stuff back. I obviously everybody likes to make a little money, but I don't want to be greedy about it, and I believe the more I give, the more I'm going to get. Okay, so we're at the point where we can give away things that pretty much no one in South Africa does, and part of Patreon is I want to sort of get it to a point like in the US where firearm and massive giveaways are like commonplace, and there are companies that are much bigger and have much bigger revenue streams than what we have that can do this. And so a big part of why I wanted to do it every 3 months is to make it so that other companies look at that and be like, well, if they can do it, surely we can do it.
Yeah.
And there's an advantage to doing it. And if you follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, even here on YouTube, you'll see we don't over advertise. I don't want it to be, yes, so in every YouTube video I do say how you can join Patreon, but if you follow me like on Instagram, I don't post every single day, join Patreon, we're going to give away this. I post it maybe once in a while, once every second week, and the reason for that is I want the people who support us to stand the best chance. Yes, everybody stands a fair chance, and we appreciate even the new patrons, but my heart is very much on like guys who have been here since the beginning, and we don't want a situation where it's a firearm giveaway and now there's this massive influx of new guys, and we're basically just pushing the new guys over the guys who've been supporting us since day one. I did also want to say, January, it's the 2,000 Rand a week. February is also going to be weekly Patreon giveaways, and then March is going to be the firearm. So that's the 3-month outline for Patreon in terms of giveaways. Content-wise, you can start.
So I'm sure you guys have noticed this channel is basically our lives. And as you mentioned earlier, like there was 4 years where we had no weekend to ourselves. So I'm really excited that this year we are going to add more outdoor activities into the channel. So I thoroughly enjoy hiking and camping, and maybe we can do some off-roading with a Jeep. But we're going to do more of those things and basically take the channel outside. So all our tools, all the things that protect us, the mindset and everything we've learned here, we're kind of going to go out a bit and live with it, if that makes sense. And we're obviously going to take you along on the journey, create content and put that out there for you guys. And that's for Patreon, right? Am I correct?
So the outdoor content is obviously first going to be for patrons and then filter down to YouTube. But we are going to do more Patreon exclusive content. Things like cigar reviews, things like, you guys will remember a few weeks ago I said I'm going to put a lighter recoil spring into my Meta SF. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Obviously, YouTube freaks out when you do things like mounting red dots, different kinds of red dots. There's going to be a lot of more Patreon exclusive content. At least that's the plan, right? So we're going to do that. And then in terms of gear reviews, we're going to look at gear, especially firearms, from 2 perspectives. Yeah. I'm a more experienced shooter, right?
And then I'm the new shooter, but also giving like a female's. I feel like that's important, a female's aspect of it. Just quick off the topic, but coming into the firearm community, I was very nervous in the beginning, and what I found is that the whole idea of it being daunting, it wasn't the case. Everyone was great, accepting, supportive, and so when I do my review on gear or I share my experience, it's really coming from me as a new shooter and my experience, but also from being a female in a market and a niche that's so
it's very male dominated. Yeah. It is male dominated, but on the social medias there are more and more females getting into this, which we think is really cool.
Yeah.
So the gear reviews are going to come as normal. When we talk about extra things, it's things that's extra over and above the gear review. So you're still going to get your weekly video, but you might just get more weekly videos, and we want to make Patreon a more content rich environment as well. So we want you to get things in terms of content that no one else is seeing. But if you just want to be on YouTube, our standard Sunday night gear reviews will be coming as per usual. Before we end off, let's switch the view and give away that Canik Meta SF Combat Edition. Okay guys, so here we go. This is a list of our active patrons plus the additional entries they get for all the months that they've been patrons. And as you can see, there's a couple of guys here who are the real OGs who have been here for quite a while. They obviously stand a better chance of winning, but a no more random chance. It just means they're going to have much more entries. As we go to the bottom, we will see the total number of entries. Look at Tyrone Hart, freaking legend of Patreon. 3,081 total entries. So I'm going to copy all these names, and this might take a second to get to the top. Come on. There we go. I'm going to copy those, and I'm going to paste them into a name randomizer. This is going to randomize the order of the names and assign a number to them. So as I randomize, there are 3,081 randomized names. As you can see, nobody's name is in order, and there are 3,081 total entries. I'm then going to go to a random number generator. Now I've entered between 0 and 3,082. I did just like a test click to see what it came up with, as it came up with 3. But if I click this, you can see there's no way I can know what this thing is going to randomly generate. So my next click is going to be the number for the winner of the Canic Meta SF Combat Edition. In 3, 2, 1, and click number 3052. And if we go to our name randomizer, number 3052, this quite, even I'm excited. Number 3052 is Mark Southey. So, oops, Mark, no, sorry, Mark. JP Groothede. Your Mark probably hates me now. Mark was 3055. JP Groothede is number 3052, and he is the winner of the Canic Meta SF Combat Edition. I sincerely apologize, Mark. I didn't mean for that to happen. Well done to all of you guys who have entered. Please remember, next week we are giving away $2,000 a week, and in the month for the rest of January and for the month after that in February, we're giving away weekly prizes, and you can stand another chance to win another Canic firearm in March again. So please stay tuned. And that is it, guys. Let's switch the view and we can endure. So well done to that patron winner. You just won yourself a Canic Meta SF Combat Edition. You are the freaking luckiest person of 2025 so far, even though we are only a few days in.
We'll get your details and we'll pass them on to the guys at gunlicense.co.za as well.
And obviously Canic will be in contact with you about making those arrangements. Guys, that is the first video of 2025. We just wanted to give you an idea of what to expect. So if you aren't a subscriber, you might want to consider subscribing if you like gear reviews. If you want to be in on all those prizes, consider joining on Patreon. And good luck for next week when we give away $1,000 to 2 patrons. That's it, guys. Have a good week. Be safe. Train hard. Cheers. God bless.